Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Read With Me. I am your host, Kelley Michelle. So if you're new to our channel, this is a channel in which we focus on reading together separately. So I will choose a book, I will introduce the book at the end of the previous month. We will read the book together for that month with the goal of reading 12 books by the end of the year. I will be posting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday some of my thoughts and reflections from what we have read together. So how many chapters I cover in each segment will be based upon how they're divided up in the book. So I'm really excited because today I am going to introduce our book for March. So last month we read The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose, and it was, I thought, a very good book. It had a lot of twists and turns to it. It was a great story. But now we are going to pivot and we're going to read a book that I have read before. I always like to start with sharing why I chose the book. But first, before I get into why I chose the book, I want to introduce the book. And the book that we are reading for the month of March is The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. And I always read the cover of the book, and it says, a life-changing tool that millions of people can't stop talking about. And it's also a New York Times, or she is a New York Times best-selling author. And I've read some of her other books as well. So I am very, very excited to dive into this book. So I'll be honest with you. I've already read the book, but I'm going to reread the book with you during the month of March. And the reason why I chose this book were a couple of things. There's a couple of podcasts that I like to listen to. And one of those podcasts that I really tune into and really enjoy is actually a sports podcast called The Pivot. And The Pivot was interviewing Mel Robbins, and that's actually how I got introduced to the book. And based upon the conversation that they were having, it really sparked my interest in the book. And with me, if they have great guests, which they always do, I start to be curious about their guest, especially if they're authors. So I went on just this hunt to find as much information as possible about Mel Robbins, and I discovered that she has a podcast, that she's written several other books, and I really thought that this book would be a great book to read. And so last year during book club, we read this book. And because it was filled with just so many great nuggets, and it really was life-changing for me, I thought that I would bring this book to my YouTube family in order for us to read this together. So we will be reading The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins for the month of March. And so I like to kind of just give a preview about the book, like how it's structured. So first of all, it was published, it was published in 2024, and it was also co-written with her daughter Sawyer. It is divided up into four main sections. And so the sections are called The Let Them Theory, You and the Let Them Theory, Your Relationship and the Let Them Theory are the names of the sections. And the book has 20 chapters. So as I said earlier, I will be dividing every episode up by probably around 2 chapters. Since there's 20 chapters, it's not an even division. So around 2 chapters will be in each episode. The book also has an appendix, and it also has a conclusion, which I will follow suit as I did with our first book. I won't have a video specifically about the appendix or conclusion. And so I'm really excited. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you one last thing. The number of pages for this book is 293. So going along with the road I've taken as far as when I choose books, I choose things that are easy reads. And I would say that this book is an easy read. It definitely is something that was a page turner for me. And I am excited to dive back into the book, because even though I took notes on the book when I was reading it the first time, when you read a book for the second time or however many times, there are things that you might not have caught the first time. There's things that you are remembering for the second time again, or just reiterating something that you recalled from the first time you read the book. So I'm really excited to read it again with you all, to see what other nuggets that I can pull out from this book as we read it during the month of March. And as always, I choose books that are pretty accessible, so you can purchase this book, or you can borrow this book from the library, purchase it from Amazon, from Barnes & Noble, get it in Kindle. There's also audio book versions. So this book is pretty accessible, and you should be able to secure it pretty easily. So there you have it. That's our book that we will be reading for the month of March. Again, I'm very excited to dive into this book. This definitely is a book that you probably will want to take some notes on. I know with The Perfect Marriage that we just finished last month, it was a fiction book and it was a story. So it really wasn't something that we were necessarily gleaning knowledge and information from. It was more for us to just have something fun to read together. So my recommendation to you, as I end every segment, is to spend some time reading today, spend some time sharpening your mind, engaging in a good story, engaging in reading something that causes you to think. And also to, as we dive into this book, if you don't have a notebook, I would suggest that you purchase a notebook so that you're able to take notes, because as I've said before, it's great that we read these books, but it's more about being able to retain the information and go back to it again so that you can apply it to your life. As always, I end every segment with a couple of things. One, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I want to hear from you. And until next time, thank you for joining me. Happy reading.